episode is sponsored by Teamhood, a modern project management system.
Hello everyone, this is on the Agile Coach. We're once again doing an episode in English, and today we're actually for the second time already in our podcast history meeting Vidas Vasiliauskas. Hey, how are you?
All good. Glad to be back
Yes,
in real world.
You're actually the first one to come back for the second episode already. So I don't know, one more and we'll need to give you a badge or something here too.
I would wear it. Think about it.
All right. So yes, Vidas is a CEO and founder of Teamhood, work management software that they are building here in Lithuania. And today we're gonna talk actually about work management as a prerequisite, as a pre-agile requisite, right? So how important it is to manage all of the workload, to centralize everything that we get in order then to be able to optimize probably, right? And to utilize the agility and everything. But let's start from the beginning. Workload, work management as a requisite of pre-agile. Why would you say is a prerequisite? What it is maybe in general?
All right. So yeah, good fundamental question. And in short, it's not like a prescription, like a medication that you need to take before going agile. But when we were thinking about, what kind of topic we're keen to cover and what things excite us, I thought like when we speak in technology world, a lot of people take this as a granted thing. It's already there. When I will come in as an agile coach or as a scrum master or somebody who is just passionate about, doing agile methodologies, I expect to find it already, that people will already know everything they're doing. They already have like a centralized, let's call it a list of work or backlog.
Yeah.
And people can take like really grounded and like proper decisions on priorities, on risk reduction, on everything. They know what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
But
unfortunately,
and why this topic came up is in reality, and especially when you speak with non-technical, let's call it non-IT companies, it's not like also a rule, but a lot of expectations are built in that when you come in, everything's working, you just need to establish agile. And reality in non-IT companies especially is that you need to step even one more step back and think about how people ingest work, how they accept work, new requests, new challenges, how they tie it to business strategies and how everything works. Like, how do they know what they need to do?
Yeah.
Simple questions. And this is surprisingly a bit challenging.
Yeah, but why it is important, right? As a first step, as you mentioned, or step zero even.
Step 0 or -1 even. Yeah. So, well, two aspects I already mentioned. One is like, how can you prioritize when you don't know everything you're doing? First essential thing, we speak always like we should do only the most important things. We should know what is the order of the things we do. We should know what is the next most important task we will do. But how can you even use the word most important when you don't have everything in one place? And there are a lot of good books and blog posts about long time ago created, even like people speaking about these neglected or invisible work items. They pop up in the middle. Oh, actually we had to be doing this, so we will be doing this now.
Or those so-called ghost tasks that you're doing something and someone sneaks something up in.
Exactly. And we even I really like the title from this Making Work Visual book, of course, about Kanban. No secret that I love Kanban. And the author writes that it's a thief of time, right? You need to be very good at recognizing who is stealing your time. That's an offense.
Actually, some time ago, I remember I just did an exercise with the team on asking them to actually register all of the work and how much work you spend when someone else comes and asks for something. for those shadow work, right? And it was a significant amount. I don't remember like specifically, but it was like a third of the whole work time. So how do you can prioritize and plan from the backlog or something else, right? So
I mean, I remember we even had exactly the same issue when we were working in markets IT.
yeah,
I mean, first thing to solve was like, oh, we have so much stuff going on. How the hell can we even progress forward with like new ideas and new business initiatives when all the operations are like just pure overkill, and sometimes you don't get engineering time because some dude just came in and said, oh, I have this urgent burning problem, we need to solve it now. And yeah, all good engineers, they take care of stuff on the spot right now, and yeah, your sprint time is gone.
yeah,
Apparently.
yep. Okay, but maybe you know, to move this to stay at this step zero, right? How to understand that you that you have a problem there, that you don't have centralized work. What could be the indications that maybe, you know?
Yeah, the symptoms.
Yeah, what are the symptoms, let's say?
Of course, there are probably many of them, and they probably result in frustration, annoyance, in unhappy people, in missed deadlines, undelivered work, quality, poor quality. But these are already late stage symptoms, like it's already happened.
Yeah.
Early stage symptoms are amount of stress probably in the team, amount of unplanned work which gets done actually on the spot. I would really be careful watching like how often my teammates or my organization who is collaborating on projects, products, how often do they get hijacked by this, oh, it's burning, oh, we need to do it here and now, or you didn't even know that somebody was doing it. How often do you discover that somebody did some shadow work? And this could be really earlier symptoms.
I would add one more. If you hear that, oops, I forgot it, for example,
Yeah,
or
good
you
one.
know,
Good one.
That completely, you know, went out of my head or something like that. I just had a recent experience with working with one of the companies where, you know, we started the agile journey. We started some rhythms, some plannings, and everything, and retrospectives in the same time. But then they had projects. They have side initiatives, internal initiatives, growth projects. Then, you know, I came with the retrospective that generates actions and so on. And the team simply recognized that, you know, I just said, you know, you got lost. You started to hear like those things like, oh, I forgot, maybe I didn't check there. The answer is you don't have everything in one place, right? And but that brings me to a next question. Like, then, okay, what to do? Is it as simple as just put it in one place? Is it a centralization already, or there is more behind it?
I wish it was that simple. Maybe just one note regarding the previous remarks. Still, it's really obvious when something's wrong when with your work ingestion. Especially it's nowadays, it's very hard to spot it, but it was very easy to spot it 3 years ago. Maybe you can guess it why. And what I'm talking about.
Remote work and related.
Bingo. Because right now and before is a very big difference. If I'm sitting on the floor together with my team, I see people coming. I see intercepts in real time.
Yeah.
And it's not about micromanagement. It's about spotting the symptoms as early as possible.
Yeah.
When there are no direct communication, when there are no proper communication channels established, they're super direct, which actually is also a very powerful force of business progress, but it can get out of hand extremely easy. And with remote work, well, what do you know? You don't.
Yeah.
It's not about tracking who's talking to whom, but it's about understanding and observing the symptoms.
Yeah.
So it's a bit harder right now.
It is. Yeah.
But now let's go back to the second question, and there is no like I'm no expert in telling like there's the secret formula or specific one way to achieve it. I know ways I tried and we tried in organizations I worked in, and we try with customers. We offered this like a good approach, and I would start by first of all mapping out and identifying where the work comes from. What are the channels? And people would usually tell, oh, it's very simple, management, and then if they have clients, direct relations with clients, and maybe then some requests for incident handling, let's call it. It doesn't matter what kind of company you are, you usually have incidents, be it IT or non-IT. And that's about it. But when you start really like asking and saying like, oh, where this task came from? Where is this thing coming from? Not 3 channels. It's probably like 5, 6, or even more. Apparently, there is a guy who knows a guy from other department who has a very good relationship for asking things.
And those incidents can be coming from different sources themselves, for example.
Right? Oh, yes.
It could be client calling directly, then there is some sort of incident handling system, then there is a, I don't know, nervous, pissed off colleague calling you because something doesn't work.
Exactly.
And those are all incidents, right?
And the louder the incident, the faster it gets done. So yeah, of course. But it's not the mature process then.
Exactly.
That's the problem. It's lack of maturity. And so I would start with mapping out, because when you map, of course you don't need to map out like 100% of these channels where things are coming from, but just by doing this exercise, it can take probably like an hour, couple of hours at best, or maybe 2 times 1 hour. So you get done, do some homework, get back, try again. You might get very lucky because you will reveal that there is this secret source of tasks which is killing your quarterly planning or yearly planning, because nobody plans for John to come in every second week and push some shadow requests under the desk of 1 or 2 of your colleagues. So this is important. Now, what you do afterwards, now the choices begin, right? You have plenty of choices what to do with it. You can stick with the same channels and you can try to work them and centralize and push everything into one place. It would be though hard to control the quality of this request work, right? Because different channels, they don't bring the same quality. Somebody just writes you an email, hey, I need this change, and there's like 3 words what needs to be done. It's like that's a very poor description of work, because you need to call a person, you need to do your own analysis. It's really, I would call it a waste in some sense. And then when you have this, you decide whether you want to go like that or you want to reduce the amount of channels and provide like some sort of more, let's call it formal contracts. You tell and you educate those people who are requesting work from you. You educate them. Look, if you want us, and we really want to help you, but please follow this like template or follow these specific policies from our team. Write us an email to this specific mailbox, describe what needs to be done, who is the owner, who do we need to contact, whether if we have questions. Just do this bare minimum. And that person's 10 minutes, extra 10 minutes, will save you like a couple of hours at least. And it's not a rule. I'm not exaggerating. This is the amount of ratio of how much time can be saved in one request. And people disturbing other people, you shouldn't go with direct communication. Usually it's synchronous or asynchronous. How do you ingest work? Like, do you take it like face to face and somebody comes in and says, hey, Vidas, hello, I need this done, and then you skip your current task, yeah, okay, tell me about it. Then you scribe a quick note, put it on your monitor, and that's it. Does that process look like that? Or you have like a proper procedure saying, cool, you have work, there's the mailbox, there's the template, please send it. No burning tasks, because everything is burning.
Exactly. Then the question is, usually, in the IT teams, in the technological teams, it will probably, you would say that there should be a person, product owner, manager, someone who would be in control, right? Would be the gatekeeper, ideally, right? But probably not everyone have those kind of roles, first thing, and the second thing probably still, you can walk around the product owner. Sometimes it happens, but how to manage it in, if you don't have an extra role, should it still be a better way of, just giving a role to someone, saying he will be the gatekeeper? I don't know, maybe he's the leader, he or she is the leader of the team or something, or somehow, solve it through like system solutions, right? That everything falls into one mailbox, and then whomever reads those, but it's just one place we have everything. Which path to go? Of course, you can go everywhere, but
choices again.
Yeah,
choices. And myself, I'm a big believer of still people first. Even as I'm software creator myself, I mean, people come first, right? So people are the engines of the changes, of the improvements, and usually it's where you start also. I would start also. And what you already mentioned, this, if the team has like a leader and she's already there, either formally or informally, she should be able to like have that ownership, saying, okay, so I'm responsible for our team's work scope. And that would be a super fair statement. Not some like second, third level management person who is like completely outside of that team scope, or somebody who is even maybe from another team, so external influence. That would be wrong. So yeah, they are service requesters. They request a service from other team.
Stakeholders.
They are stakeholders, but they are not like the governance apparatus of the current team we're speaking about. And this is very important. And really, like, what Agile does is a good thing. I really like the point where it describes roles. This is important. Not all methodologies describe roles. Some classic methodologies about project management, they do that, but they do a bit too extensively. But in reality, people sometimes they take those roles, sometimes they think, I will not start with Agile jokes, let's do Agile and how it looks. But role is good. But it doesn't need to be like product owner, right? It's fine calling names which are convenient. A leader who is responsible for the team. So team is an organization, a small organization, which has its own goals and functions. So if those functions were to be performed at best quality and at the best efficiency, they should be also owned by the knowledge holders, who are the team, right? So this is simple. If people can believe that, and they can give the formal or informal approval of ownership for that leader person, that's already a very good first step.
And it's probably more of a role, of a responsibility than
it's a responsibility.
A role.
It's not a role. It's a responsibility.
Give
absolutely.
it to whomever you have right now. You don't need to invent a new role or hire a new person or whatever. You just
that would be that would be a narrow responsibility as a role. It doesn't need to be, of course. The more important part is like, so whether that person has enough leadership capital to drive the standards of how the mature process should be, like whether that person has ability to say no to the stakeholders, push back on work. But I really know there is a very thin line to project wrong culture. It's not about saying no and then people will start going around that person because that's a no person, and yes, there is yes person inside the team. So this is wrong also. You need to give a very good service. So stakeholders, you would be like de facto like common sense approach, because they would come to you because that person is doing great. I will get the best service ever if I go to that person. That's very important. The good culture approach, like if my team is servicing or giving a function, I should be super motivated to give the best possible experience to my stakeholders, meaning I care about their priorities. I can answer their questions. I know my, SIIT shit. I know my shit, and I can know when things will be delivered, when they will be late, what is my forecasting, how it works, and I can commit. I can fearlessly commit to saying somebody, we'll do it in like next month or next year or whatever. If they need more precision, we will adjust our process, whatever.
Okay. But so this is one thing, the role, the responsibility in the
Yes.
team, right?
The first one.
So yeah. So first thing, map your sources
Yes.
of your work, right? Channels
Yes.
that sort of flows into your backlogs. Then you have someone as a gatekeeper, right?
Yes.
There's a responsibility.
I'm though a bit this wording like gate. I know this is geekish already, but gatekeeper, it still gives the smell gatekeeper.
Yeah,
Like
that you just
keeps it. I haven't found a better alternative, but somebody who's like a proper, work and ingestion leader or person who can take care of your business. Too long, but still taking care of your business, not
Yeah.
mine, your. So this is like approach to the good function and good service.
Okay.
Gatekeeper is a bit like
Just
a
saying
stop
no,
sign.
right?
Yeah, no, yeah, try, scoring. No go.
Okay. So the responsibility. What else? What's next? System tools.
Of course. So in anything you do, you will need tools, and in behind the scenes, when the process is working, people already know the policy. They bring you work. Then the next step of the pipeline gets overloaded. How conveniently, how fast, and how descriptive can you be to take that work that's coming to you and place it somewhere where it's useful to have it? And usually you can start with simple things. I saw people using like OneNote, big OneNote documents, Excel, fine. I mean, starting point, fine. And you keep doing that. Then only the maturity will tell you where you need to go further. And maybe your channels, if your business environment is a bit more complicated, maybe you receive work requests via phone, then there is emails, then there are direct like face-to-face requests. How do you handle those? It could require like different, personnel even around you, like somebody's like phone support specialist, somebody's working on ticket system internally or externally, so these things. But tooling will be driven by organization. What is the organization? What kind of work they do? And well, maybe what type of work they do. Like, do they do complex tasks? Like there could be a company that does like biochemical research, right? Their process is pretty strict, and it requires a lot of things. So of course they will need specifics, really specific stuff. If it's a marketing agency or even like, I don't know, service for doing building designs, they're a bit more relaxed. They can use very simplified things, and they need simplified things.
Yeah.
They need to be efficient. They usually are small companies. They need efficiency. So they have a lot of projects. They cannot spend too much time on this operation things. So the system should be simple. And I mean, tooling is really dictated by the type of the company and their work. But you definitely need one. Definitely.
I would say also make sure it's convenient for the people, for the team. That whatever tool you use, that it's not an overhead itself. Too much fields to fill to, you get lost by navigating somewhere, and it works maybe even slower. Those kind of problems. The team itself will push it back, and then we're back to square one, right?
So if there are a couple of more fields than you would like to fill in, yes, great to have no redundant fields, right? But the problem, you already mentioned the surface of the problem is people want and they need to feel productive. If they will not feel that, they will not put their information inside the system, and you will go back to the square zero, where you still have like 90% of your work in the system, and then this 10% of shadow stuff is somewhere floating in the air, because people are lazy by nature. They don't want to work hard. And it is important. Usually when companies try to look for tools, I ask a question, managers, usually a person is a manager who wants to do the change or improve something because they have the cadence and the motivation to do it. And they look from their perspective, how I as a manager will use this for reporting, how I as a manager will identify business opportunities from this. And my first remark, I do it as a remark, not like a suggestion. I do it as a remark. I would say, stop. You only one stakeholder. How many people in your team? 10, 20, 100 department? These are other 100 stakeholders that require a say in this because they will be the ones doing it on daily basis. You come in every month for your quarterly or monthly report, cool. Whatever, be it 100 clicks for you. You spend half a day, still fine. If they spend every day hours on it,
Yeah.
they must love it. It must be frictionless. That's the right word, frictionless.
Yeah. So it needs to fit the team,
Yes.
not the
Yes.
managers
Exactly.
or someone.
It should be a collective decision.
Yeah.
Of course, not everyone can make collective decisions. We observed organizations where it's still they need to change the mindset.
Yeah.
That collective decisions can be made. Not somebody with a rank on the shoulders can say.
That's another topic to probably
separate
to discuss.
topic.
Yeah,
separate
yeah,
topic.
but that's hugely important. I completely agree. Especially also in the prioritization part, in this responsibility of a person that we just talked about. And you could give a responsibility, but if a more senior manager will come and override your decisions, right, and things like that will start to happen, then again, you will lose trust. You will be just a proxy to someone else. So that needs to be avoided inevitably. So probably again one step back, right? But
having a well-structured and centralized work ingestion as a process and as a policy and as a responsibility inside a team can cure a very big problem. I would call these loose cannon managers or loose cannon leaders or loose cannon stakeholders, where they are completely, of course, not in the bad manner, but they're completely uninterested or unaware about other people's priorities and just come in crashing and shouting and trying to push their stuff and their ideas are all of them by the way are priority number one. Surprise. So this process can cure this, and these people will, of course, they will hit the wall. They will not like it at first. They will complain, but once they are shown that it can work, and once they know that before they had to wait 3 months or X amount of months without any guarantees, and now they need to wait, let's say, same 3 months, but with guarantees, they will start to feel value. Not straight away. It needs patience and a lot of pain, but it can work. So this is really, really hurting these immature organizations where management is not let's call it properly coached or leadership
open-minded.
Open-minded leadership. Yeah, that hides a lot of interesting details. But so these people, yeah, they ruin everything. I mean, why bother prioritizing? Because after 1 week you can just throw away everything and say, let's wait. Priorities will come to us.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, a lot of interesting topics to discuss. We're running a bit of out of time, so my probably final question, a lot of good ideas for listeners as a first step, but what would you recommend if someone recognizes themselves that we might have that issues? What would you recommend? Maybe read, learn, or just start doing something as a very first thing after listening to us.
So it's already amazing that somebody is listening to us who is interested in solving this problem. So they already made the first good step.
Absolutely.
Right. So don't stop doing that. I think next good step is not probably reading. It's very hard to find good material where you will read and apply it straight away, because it's not like a deep problem, right? It's not a deep problem.
Yeah.
It's more like people organization problem, which is pretty standard. Everybody been there, done that. So first of all, as we spoke, step 0, map out your channels, identify symptoms, maybe even. Second step, who is the leader? Who is responsible? Third step, of course, centralize. Create policies, create a system. And not only leader should do that, the whole team.
Yeah.
Involve people, because usually in the team there are specialists. Specialists are specialists because they're professionals in some specific area. So they are the knowledge holders of what they do best. And they should take the best decision on specific things. So this is very important. And by doing this, maybe even oversimplified things as I put them, you will do like 80% of the hard work.
Yeah, part of
It's
the
my
role.
personal belief, but I've been in this myself. I've been together with other people in this in this situation. No magic. Just following these steps and
Start simple.
start simple. Go simple every time. Don't overcomplicate. Don't ask people to do what you wouldn't do yourself. It will work, and give time, patience, and time.
Okay, thank you very much. I think that's a very good recap of what we've talked about. So thank you for coming, for sharing, and we'll be waiting for the third episode.
All right, yeah.
If hopefully we'll have like season 4 and 5 upcoming. So thank you, Vidas, very much. For the listeners, thank you for listening. Keep doing this. I hope you learn a lot of good things. Subscribe to us, like our channel, and make sure you get all the latest news and episodes. Thank you, Vidas.
Thank you
See
for
next
having me,
time.
Rajdas.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.